2000 Olympians Morgan and Paul Hamm and eventual national champion Shawn Townsend proved the American team is no longer a one-man show. But now, Blaine's back. Back to prove at age 28. He still has what it takes to lead the U.S. team, to win a 6th national championship. Back to show that he still belongs at the head of the class. NBC Sports welcomes you to Gund Arena in downtown Cleveland, Ohio for the men's 2002 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. It is here that in 5 of the last 6 years, Blaine Wilson has made a name for himself as the top American gymnast. Period. End of story. No one even close. But now, coming off of surgery for a shoulder injury, Blaine Wilson is being challenged. He's being challenged by some Olympic teammates, Morgan and Paul Hamm. This is Paul, the leader after the first night of competition. These guys are tough. And then there is the defending U.S. national champion, Shawn Townsend. But Tim Daggett, he has not looked like the defending national champion.
Well, actually, he's looked tired, not sharp. And, you know, he has been the workhorse for USA Gymnastics. World champion on the parallel bars. They have sent him all over the world. His coach, Kevin Majika, told me he's just a little bit tired and really needs a bit of a break. This guy was having the most amazing meet at the last World Championships. It was high bar. He could have been world champion in the all-around, and he had mistakes like this that took it all away from him.
Meanwhile, Elfie Schlegel, Blaine Wilson on the first night of competition did not look like Blaine Wilson. Has he come back too fast?
Well, actually, to make things even more difficult for Blaine, he tweaked his knee in the warm-ups prior to the competition, so that has made the road a little bit more difficult. And actually, he's been out of competition for a complete year, but he says he's ahead of schedule and quite happy to be competing here.
Yeah, you know, he missed in night 1, but I have to tell you, it was remarkable. I was amazed, along with a lot of other people, at how good Blaine Wilson actually looked. He did make mistakes, but he looked better in every way to me.
But one thing, Tim, he showed us how he is the national champion. He showed us how he is able to fight through pain and injury and still be competitive.
Well, it's amazing. You know, he had a hurt knee prior to this point, and he goes out and does probably the most difficult dismount on floor being done by anybody in the world. He's pushing the envelope. He is not, he's not content to just hang in there. He's trying to be better than everyone.
Meanwhile, Paul and Morgan Hamm from Waukesha, Wisconsin, have come here and shown once again that they deserve to be on the U.S. Olympic team. Paul Hamm especially, even with that step, has taken the lead by almost a point. And with 6 rotations in this second night of competition, that is a substantial lead in these 2002 USA Gymnastics Championships. So we look at the standings now, and Paul Hamm's lead over Blaine Wilson and Shawn Townsend and Guard Young are as follows: 9/10 of a point, 1.9 points, 2.5 points. We'll start things off with Blaine Wilson. He's on the pommel horse, and if you want to see a test of a surgically repaired shoulder, this is it.
And this is the event that actually bothers Blaine's shoulder most, which is a little ironic. Usually rings is where it hurts. He says horse, it's just constantly pushing down on the pommels. His shoulder grinds a little bit.
And Tim, that on top of it being one of the most challenging events for Blaine, he scored a mere 8.7 after the first night of competition.
If I had to handicap things, I would say that this is Blaine's biggest challenge, the pommel horse, and he starts in a very unconventional way, gets his scissor requirement all done right off the bat. This is where he had some problems in night 1. A little bit of leg form. Very, very tricky combinations Blaine's trying to do. Well, this is a good routine, but he actually added a couple of circles in between elements that'll cost him a little bit in the start value.
But while he comes back from surgery, you can still tell he has the flair and finish of a national champion, as does Shawn Townsend. But the big question is, What's wearing Sean down? Is it the weight of being the defending national champion? Is it the weight of too much work, too many repetitions?
Well, it's also the weight of the high bar. He has not hit high bar in a major meet since the World Championships. And this event, as I said, was the event that cost him the all-around title. He's got to do two things. He's got to catch the bar, and then he's got to land on his feet. He's got the first one done. Very, very tricky combination. Coming up right here. And I don't think he can do that one any better.
His coach, Kevin Majika, said if you had asked him, would Sean miss high bar at the national championships, he said, no way. We've been focusing on this event.
Dismount right here. Yes!
And Majika likes that a lot. Some pretty snazzy stuff on the high bar for Sean Townsend, the defending U.S. national champion.
That helps in so many ways for this guy. Like I said, he has been in a major rut on high bar.
Yeah, Kevin's relieved because he knew that Sean needed that event. He needed to hit a high bar routine in order to move on. Finally, hit a high bar routine.
Yes, Sean, you finally did hit a high bar routine, and this competition needed it to prevent Paul Hamm from running away with things.
As I said, two things he had to do. This is a major one. There's the bar. Just grab onto it, and the dismount in combination. Super difficult 3 times around. No time to make adjustments because he does a hard element right before it. And finally, start to finish.
And Sean Townsend receives a 9.5, which these days in gymnastics feels like a 9.9 with the way the sport is scored right now. Blaine Wilson's pommel horse scored 9.2. Why so low?
Well, like I said, he lost a little bit of connection throughout that exercise, and it really is his toughest event.
5 to go. I stayed on, baby.
He's got a better 5, too.
That's right. 5 to go. Paul Hamm has the lead in the 2002 USA Gymnastics Championships. He's up next. Paul Hamm has the lead in the USA Gymnastics Championships. Making the Olympics was a first goal. Now, this is a second goal.
Oh, I definitely feel like this is my time, and I deserve to be at the top because I've been working really hard these last couple of years, and in 2000, I was 3rd place at the U.S. Championships and was injured in the next year. And finally, this year, I was healthy, and I feel like I deserve to be at the top. And this is a large competition, national championships, and it feels great to be leading against some of the best guys.
And leading he is. In a weird year in gymnastics, I mean, it's all about the Olympics after all, and this is a World Championships year, but it's not a normal World Championships year, is it?
No, it's an individual World Championships, and there is no team competition, and also no all-around competition. But the thing that Paul is so good at, look at his body, his extension. All of the details are a lot of attention to the details. Nice look, nice line.
Yeah, he's been compared to many of the great Russian athletes who have such wonderful technique.
And like that scissor right there, just a little bit of extra flair. Beautiful dismount here. Very nice, great. Fantastic exercise, big time.
And you know, Paul is realistic in where he stands right now in the competition. Even though he's leading Blaine, his comment after night 1 is, hey, it's only halftime, anything can happen.
I don't think anybody's going to catch up on him after this routine.
Now we'll see what I was talking about with details. This is just a simple requirement, but he does it better than just about everybody else. Kind of shows a nice pause, hesitation. Nice lift of the legs. Beautiful work.
So Paul Hamm struts his stuff with a 9.7. That is a huge score in these USA Gymnastics Championships in a sport